Hey guys, welcome back to another, I guess, review thoughts. This is something that I'm going to be working on doing. You guys seem to like the Valheim video, and we're going to just continue moving this way. I think it makes for great content. We're going to be going over Outriders. Outriders is a game that the demo just got released on the 25th of February. At the time of recording, it's the 26th. And the full game gets released April 1st, unless it's a terrible April Fool's joke. Please, please, please don't be a terrible April Fool's joke. Right now, I'm just piecing the story together from the trailer and the first chapter, the cutscenes of this demo, which basically covers the prologue in chapter 1, as far as I'm aware. In short, this prologue, the human race has left Earth after destroying it. There were two ships that were carrying the rest of humanity. One of them got destroyed in transit. The one that survived, obviously the one that we are on, made it to the new planet Enoch. Enoch is supposed to be the Earth replacement. Supposed to be peaceful, Earth-like in atmosphere and fauna. The ship that survived, and the people that were on board are Outriders and the ECA, so the Enoch Colonization Authority. They are in charge of setting up the first city and getting humanity up and running again. In the demo, the story, the ECA and Outriders, we land on Enoch, and it was supposed to be nice. Like I said, the flora, the fauna, everything was supposed to be good, except it wasn't. What you soon find out is your character gets hit by an anomaly storm, and you get put back into cryo to save your life. What you don't realize is that 30 years goes by, and you come back out, and the world has gone to shit. Humanity basically has split as we know it. There is the exiles, the people who were left behind, went mad. Very Mad Max vibe I'm getting. It's just a really great experience for going into the game. The cinematic cutscene just really sets you up for how wild these exiles are. And then you have the ECA, and they have set up shop in the Rift Town. There are people who are called Altered. Altered are people who got hit by the anomaly storm and didn't die. Basically, there's two options when you get hit by the anomaly storm. You either get just obliterated into bits, or you somehow absorb some weird power, gives you some sort of superpower, and you become altered. Both sides have altered, from my understanding. And that's where our class systems come into play. You choose your class because you are altered. So mechanics-wise, this game feels a lot like Destiny, Gears of War, Division, and a sprinkle of Mass Effect. They all came together and had this weird sort of game baby, and the game baby turned out to be Outriders. You got Gears of War movement, you've got Gears of War and Division movement, you've got the Destiny inventory and armor class system. The Mass Effect, just sort of like the vibe from the gunplay, it seems just a little bit, hence the sprinkle. Overall, movement's pretty good. Moving from cover to cover, fighting from these positions, trying to make sure you have tactical advantage while also just mowing people down. One little bug right now is that I don't know if it's a bug or if I didn't do it correctly, but the movement from cover to cover you can't cancel, which sometimes screws you over. I'm not sure if I just didn't know how to do it properly, but I've seen other people have that same sort of issue. Right now, I think that you guys would really enjoy the gun combat and powers combat, and how they work together, utilizing, if you do damage, at least as a pyromancer, and as of recording, I've only played a pyromancer. You do damage to somebody that has your effect on them, and you heal. So it pushes you to be more aggressive in play style. Speaking of aggressive playstyle, the game seems a little bullet spongy, but that goes back to Division. You're using guns as your combat mechanic, but it's not terrible. Like it's not terrible. It feels good. it is just a little bullet spongy. It's always been something that I've had a slight issue with, but it's not a game breaker for me. Speaking of Pyromancer, we have 4 powers, or 4 altereds, and within there you have the different archetypes. You have 3 different archetypes, like through your skill trees. So there's 4 classes. Each class has 3 skill trees that you can work into, my understanding. Those classes would be Devastator, which is a tank in close range, Pyromancer, which I'm playing as, or played as, which is fire and medium range, Technomancer, which is gadget based and support in long range, so sniper rifles, and then Trickster, which is close range. You use space, there's something called space time to move around and warp around and change, you know, the time, like within like time bubbles, so you can slow things down, and you can pick one of those 4 for your character. You can't change that for your character, but you can have multiple characters. When playing in a group, the dynamic works really well together. So I was playing with a Devastator, a Technomancer, and myself, and we were able to play off of each other pretty well. The Technomancer then left, and a Trickster came in, and we were able to pick up right there, and the playstyle changed just a little bit, but we were able to complement each other pretty well and play our different roles effectively. It definitely seems that you there's going to be a really interesting late game mechanics to this, going into these expeditions, which I believe are the dungeons or high-end, the world-class fighting scenarios based on the lore that I've read so far. These expeditions are going to be your dungeons per se. Within the world itself, there is 15 world tiers. Right now you can only play 1 through 5, which is fine. It's a demo, but it scales automatically. It feels really great, and you get better rewards as you scale up. Also, the difficulty increases. Multiplayer will be crossplay at full release. It is also crossplay in the demo. It is just currently toggled off as it is a beta feature, but you can toggle it on and then play with people on the PS5 and the Xbox and PC. I don't see anything about Nintendo Switch. I also don't know if this game is out on Nintendo Switch. I don't think so. You can play the campaign and then play this demo to your heart's content. Level up your characters, level up multiple characters, and then you can transfer your characters to the full release of the game when it comes out and pick up right where you left off. And I think that's such a nice, subtle touch. It also makes it more enjoyable and means that I could feel better about grinding all the different characters and trying them out and getting a feel for them, and then not having to redo that right when we get into the game again. Definitely a nice little touch there. They have a fluid multiplayer right away. I mean, I had friends jumping in and out right off the rip. We had people, I accidentally had my lobby open to public. We had people joining in. Not an issue, just it works. And then if you are joining somebody who's ahead in the story, it does give you a spoiler warning saying, hey, you may get some, you may get some spoilers here. There's a voting system for the party members. I think it might be potentially broken. Once again, not sure if it was just a demo thing or if we didn't do it right. But basically, we had a party member deny. We wanted to test it out, so we had a party member deny an instance, and they still joined us. So I don't know if it's like a majority thing or if it just happened to not work. And from the game aspect, you can be a loot goblin. You can be a loot goblin. Doesn't matter. You can steal every little bit of loot on the ground because it's instant space. So you're not taking from other players. The only thing that we notice is that when you're mining resources, you have to be close to each other to be able to pick it up. There also seems to be a slight delay when other people mine stuff. Not an issue, just pointing it out. I'm able to run this game on Ultra at 144 FPS while streaming with no issues whatsoever. But the caveat is that after we capped the FPS to be 144, then we had no issues. I had a little bit of issues in the menu system, just destroying the stream. But that not everybody's going to be streaming the game at the same time. So from the core aspect, I was able to play it on Ultra, 144 FPS, worked fine. Cosmetics look great. Guns look great. Everything looks and feels really nice. You kind of have like a Destiny vibe still. Not a bad thing, just kind of have that sort of vibe. There was a cosmetic bug that my friend ran into. I think that we could pull some footage for that, where he had his pistol in his hand regardless of what other gun he had. Made for some interesting footage, but I think it could be probably fixed pretty easily. Currently, my only two kind of major issues is one, motion blur. Motion blur is a little bit on the extreme side, especially when you're sprinting and moving from cover to cover. I think this has been addressed. I believe the devs said that it will be toggleable in the main game. And then cutscenes. Cutscenes is my other issue. The cutscenes seem to have a shake to it, a camera shake. It feels like the first Cloverfield film, and it's a little tough on my brain. And then I guess the third, not an issue, just kind of calling it out. It may just be the demo, but there seems to be a lot of cutscenes, and there seems to be some cutscenes for like relatively simple things, and I don't know if that's just a save mechanic, or if that's just for a graphical aspect, or if they just don't have certain things implemented. For example, when you try to jump a bridge, like a gap, that's a cutscene. So you run up to the gap, you jump, and that leads you into a cutscene of just showing you jumping. That's it, just showing you jumping. And then there's another cutscene of you just literally opening a door. Cutscenes don't last that long, but there seems to be a decent amount of them. Not a huge detractor, just calling it like I see it. So overall opinions from the demo. Seems to be a really interesting and fun game graphically and playstyle wise. It looks like you can build off of each other. You can also play the game solo. It seems that both aspects will be enjoyable. The storyline seems pretty in-depth from what I've seen and what I've learned. I've been watching a lot of trailers, been trying to read the fandom, which isn't really filled out yet. It has a Mad Max post-apocalyptic but on a different world vibe. It's good. I enjoy it. The skill tree and the team mechanics will be a great thing, both from a mechanic playstyle wise as well as a visual aspect. It's visually appealing. I mean, I blew up people with my pyro, and I mean the way that the body, it's gruesome to say it out loud now, but in the moment it looked really cool. I really enjoyed it. World tiering will add a nice dynamic aspect to the difficulty and reward system, and I'm all about grinding to get the best gear and those reward pools. In my opinion, I think it was a weird decision for the cutscene usage with the camera shake. I really just don't. I get it. It really messes with me with camera shake. Like I said, not a huge thing, just something that I'm always gonna see. I will definitely be buying this game at release. I will definitely be playing it through. Hopefully, I believe I already have a friend group. I mean, we've got at least 10 to 12 people that I know that have bought it or played the demo and cycled in and out. It will definitely be a staple, at least when it first comes out. I believe there's around 35 hours, they said, of content off the rip. It was an enjoyable demo. Definitely excited to see development continue and watch closely, and I will keep you guys updated if anything changes. So as always, if you like the video, leave a like, comment, let me know if you guys have different opinions. I like to discuss it in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button, would really appreciate that. We're trying to get to 100 subs, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.